Hey guys, this is Scott with Heritage Farms, Texas. Well, here it is. It's Saturday and once again a project. So look at this. We got a call from the 1-800 tip line that we had cattle out a couple of days ago. And it's kind of a dangerous situation because right on the other side of these woods, about 300 yards, is a highway and open fields. And the cows were out, so we had to get them back up. But here was the culprit. We had this monstrous tree, and I want you to look how far up these branches go and how dangerous it is, because you know you can't get under it to actually trim, because look at that massive limb up there that's broken, could fall at any time. You can't really get on this thing and try to cut it from the bottom, so I don't have time, and this is out in the middle of absolute wilderness. We can barely get the four-wheeler or the UTV in here. We have to cut a trail to get down here. So we came up with what's called a temporary fix, which is you take some T-post, we took some mesh wire, and what we basically did was we just did a detour. Cleared a path to get the UTV down here, the Kubota, put some T-post up, cleared it out, and made us a trail. And when I tell you all this brush here, this is blood and guts. I mean, it's hot, it's humid, there's mosquitoes, the size of small birds down here in Texas, and we went all the way down to the river bottom. So while we were down here, we also came back, put a lot of T-post in, tried to shore up this fence the best we could. I know this video is probably hard to see because we were using old T-posts, but there's another fallen tree, but that one's actually in the creek, and the cattle can't get out on that one, so that's good. But anyway, we've got this thing back together, and boy, you know, on the lookout for water moccasins, because we're down here near all these creeks and bottoms. There's copperhead snakes, there's all kinds. The other thing that's dangerous is, I don't know if you could tell this or not, but when that big tree fell, it's leaning against another tree now that's 1 foot in diameter, and we call that a widowmaker, because at any point in time that tree is going to fall. I mean, with the ground as wet as it is, very, very dangerous. But anyway, that's what we're doing. We're coming in here, making a trail so we can check fences easily, because you need to be able to ride your four-wheeler and look at your fences, because after every single storm or a windy day, you just don't know what kind of tree or fence is going to fall. So more info to follow. Okay, so we're in the Kubota and we're driving on the new trail. I say new trail. This is where the back fence of our property is, and it is just back in the jungle. I mean, you can see we've got fallen trees. It gets down here with all the flooding and wetness. We got trees everywhere. Mrs. Heritage Farms is going to be a little upset if I get her new Kubota scratched up, but hey, that's just part of it. So we're coming in, but look at this. This was a huge monster tree that fell. You can see, luckily it landed on the other side of the fence. Whoop, hold on here, we got a little bit of coming down. But I mean, look at the size of the base of that tree right there. I mean, that thing must be 4 feet wide. You can see massive trees, but luckily they're all leaning and down. Not going to hurt anything. But it's just crazy the amount of work that has to be done down here. And you can't get a bulldozer down here to them. It's just a very, very dangerous, bad area. And it's just hard to keep a fence up with cattle. Luckily, the cows don't come down here very often, because normally they're out in the pasture chasing green grass, but occasionally they decide to come down here, and when they do, if they look hard enough, they'll find a place where a tree is on a fence. I mean, you don't have to look far to get this done. So the problem is, not a problem, it's a good problem, our property is really long. The bad news is there's a lot of woods and a lot of fences in the woods. So you see all of this through here, that faint trail you see ahead, this is all stuff I cut in the last couple of days. So I've just been coming through here with lopping shears, chainsaw, weed eater, beating it back. Last weekend we sprayed all of this with Roundup, But you can see the vines and stuff, the Roundup really didn't do much. And we mixed it really strong. Probably got to come back and hit it with something like, I think it's called Tundra or Remedy. There's 2 or 3 different ones, but I definitely got to come back and get it again with something a lot more aggressive. So this is what we've been working on. Look, here's another tree that was down, big piles of wood. And you can see just over the years how many trees have fell right on this fence row, and how we cleaned it all out. So I've even put some yellow stakes in here, so if I disappear and nobody can find me, they can at least follow the yellow ribbons. Might know where I'm actually at back here, because the other thing you got to be concerned about is wild boars and wild pigs, because they are everywhere. This is their home, their habitat. So you can see here's a tree that I actually cut and just let lean in that direction just to have it out of the way. Here is last weekend's project. The fence was totally down, so I came in, cut this out, got it where I could at least drive through here. Another tree over there. I mean, look through here. They are just everywhere. So what I'm doing now is there's a tree that's even close to my pathway. I'm cutting it back. One day when I have some money and we can get a bulldozer in here, I'm actually going to bring a dozer into this area and have him cut a major trail 40 feet wide around the entire property. Problem is there's creeks and places to do that, and it's just hard to get in there. So anyway, just kind of wanted to show you this is what I call the Wild Boar Expressway. Wild Boar Expressway, because we are in their habitat. But man, what a freaking mess this is down here. So anyway, I'm going to let you watch the video, watch the Kubota and a little off-roading action. We got a pretty good sized creek up here that we have to cross. You might enjoy that. That'll be my luck. I'll get stuck on film. But hey, that's just part of the action. So let's turn a left here on the exit ramp. Man, this place. Woo! Back in the tundra, the jungle. I mean, you can see all of the stuff I've had to clear out just to get a trail back to the woods. And we'll see. All right, everybody, hold on here. We got to do a little off-roading. Here's the creek we got to cross. Hopefully we can make this. Yeah, big boy. No problem. Put the Kubota in 4-wheel drive low and off she goes. She's like a billy goat. All right, guys. Well, we're almost down to the woods now. I got to pick up a couple of tools, show you real quick everything that we got in the back here. So, man, roll of fencing, 3 chainsaws, weed eater. Woo! Look at there, another tree down. I mean, they are everywhere. If anybody's in the area and they want firewood or want to cut firewood, man, I've got some places to let you go. Anyway, hey, more info to follow. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, all right, wanted to give you an update. We are on the north end of the property that we call Telephone 1. And we are back on the fencing repair. This is the jungle. I don't know if you can see this little path through here, but man, it's been blood and guts. I mean, it's just terrible back in here. You can just see it's heavily dense. You can see big trees are just falling everywhere because of all of the rain. The weight of these trees, they just can't support themselves. And the ground is so soggy, they are literally, if it's leaning, come back tomorrow, it's leaning a little more and it's gone. So look at this long tree that fell right on the fence. I mean, took out like 8 sections. So I just had to put that back up. Luckily, we had a lot of used T-posts from a cross fence we took down on the new property. So I'm putting those old T-posts to use because really, man, you're back here in the jungle, nobody's gonna see them, but it has just been blood and guts. On a positive note, I haven't seen any copperheads or water moccasins today, so I'm excited that no snakes, knock on wood, at the moment. But the poison ivy, the poison oak, it's just all over the place. So we are trying our best to get this, what I call the Wild Boar Expressway built around the property so that we can actually take the four-wheeler or the side-by-side and come through. But I don't know if you can just see in these woods, but I mean, this was a huge tree that fell previously. Here's another one right on this side. This one, we can't fit the side-by-side through. All we can get's the four-wheeler. So it's going to take a lot more work, and honestly, I'm not wanting to get into all of that snake habitat right now at the moment. So anyway, basically I'm contacting you from hell today. We're working away. It's hot, it's humid, mosquitoes down here the size of small birds, but we're getting it done, man. That's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Stay tuned, man. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave us a comment. Really appreciate to hear from you. Oh yeah, and if anybody has an extra $5 or $6 grand laying around that I could use for a mulching machine, hey, send it on over. That would be the ultimate solution, but hey, you got to make do with what you got to make do. More info to follow. Thanks, guys.